Okay, types of reflexes. We know that reflex action is an action which is not controlled by the brain. It is controlled by the spinal cord. And reflexes are of two types: simple reflex and acquired reflex. Simple reflexes are those reflexes which we need not practice at all. No prior practice is required. So it's also called the inborn reflex, which means when you are born, you already have these reflexes embedded into you. Okay. For example, crying of the baby when hungry. Crying when hungry. You don't have to teach a baby to cry when she's hungry. It's inborn. And the other one is swallowing. You don't have to teach babies to swallow food. It's already inbuilt. So those kind of reflexes are called simple reflex. The other one is to light a laser light in your eyes. You don't have to practice to close your eyes, shut your eyes, to block that laser light that hurts your eyes. So you immediately close your eyelids. So all of that is a simple reflex. And the best example would be your knee jerk. If you tap your knee with a small hammer, if you stab it with a sledgehammer, you kind of ruin your knees, but just a small hammer, tap it somewhere around this part and your knee kicks. So that is your knee jerk. And that's the best example of simple reflex. Okay? You don't need prior practice for it. The second one is acquired reflex. Acquired reflexes are reflexes that are acquired during a person's lifetime. Now, how it is acquired? It is acquired because of constant, regular practice over a period of time. You can't just have this acquired reflex overnight. Okay, it needs constant practice. So those are your, first of all, let's say speech. A baby learns to say "apa, ama," sort of, and then she begins to take a few steps to walk. Now you don't even have to think about walking, but you've done a lot of practice. For many months you practice walking. So this is acquired reflex: speech, walk, skating, or cycling, typing. Typing meaning using all your digits, okay, your 8 fingers and 2 thumbs. That's typing, not hunt and pick with 2 fingers. That you don't need practice for that. But if you really want to type with all of your digits, you need to practice it. So that is your what we call acquired reflex. Typing, simple reflex: sneezing, coughing. Okay. I'm writing all of these examples because they will give you a bunch of these examples and you'll have to sort them out into simple and acquired reflexes. Alright, then we'll just move on to Pavlov's experiment. Pavlov was a Russian scientist and he took 2 dogs. Okay. Dog 1, dog 2. And before feeding these dogs, he would ring the bell for dog 1. Every time dog 1 got his food, there was this sound of bell. Okay? And dog 2 was just given the food without the sound of the bell. Later on, after a couple of months, he found that he bought these 2 dogs and he rang the bell. When the sound of the bell was heard by dog number 1, he began to salivate. But for dog 2, it had no effect at all. Because dog 1 had started to relate the sound of the bell with food. But dog 2 did not have that kind of practice at all. So this just proves that salivation is a reflex which has been learned by dog 1 with the sound of the bell. And this happens to us also. If you talk about tamarind, and that atar type, your mouth also begins to water. So that's also another example of acquired reflex.